Hi class, my name is Stephanie Alcaraz, and today I'm going through the poetry readings we had. I chose the author Billy Collins. I chose 3 poems, and the first one I chose was Night Letters to the Reader. The second poem was Love. And the third poem was No Time. Before I start, I chose the author because I connected well with the poems. Each poem was individually written differently, I guess. So let's start. In Night Letter, I had a couple of questions. The first 2 lines, the narrator mentions or perhaps compares himself to coming out of the bed and refers to a bird, so I was wondering if the bed was like a nest. Also, he says comparison to a snail in a shell, but if we have a snail be a slug, they're not the same thing. In the third stanza, he talks about the thoughts of when he was a teen. Maybe these are regrets, thoughts of parties and cars. In the third stanza, the narrator talks about how conscious he was, even though he's in his pajamas. And when we're in our pajamas, we just woke up, so this leads to the reader to think, what is the narrator trying to tell us? What is the audience supposed to grasp? Or what are we supposed to listen to? What is the narrator telling us? I'm going to read a little bit of Night Letter, which is on the page 6, and it states, "And why do I bother to tell these things? That will never make a difference. Flecks of ash, tiny chips of ice. But this is all I want to do, tell you that in the woods a few night birds were calling. The grass was cold and wet on my bare feet, and at that point, the moon, looking like the top of Shakespeare's." Are we supposed to go back to nature? Maybe live less routine-like? I don't know. Love was probably one of my favorite poems in the book. Everyone's had a crush, so it was really relatable. The narrator talks about how he was on a train when he noticed a boy constantly looking back and forth, waiting for something, and then finally a girl comes in with a giant cello, and the boy is like trying to help her as she looks like an angel. This was my favorite verse. Where she was simply there, perfectly existing creature with her soft face who played the cello. And the reason I'm writing this on the back of a manila envelope now that they have left the train together is to tell you, when she turned to lift the large, delicate cello onto the over rack, I saw him looking up at her, at what she was doing, the way her eyes of saints are painted, and when they're looking up at God, when he is doing something remarkable, something that identifies him as God. I guess I like this poem because it talks about love, and falling in love. Everyone can compare to that special person who liked them. You could see the imagery, the characterization, the feeling of nervousness to even get up and talk to someone. I liked how he captured those small moments of looking back and forth. It tells the reader how he was, I guess, capturing that moment